The Big Show with Glenn and Angel on Kiss 92.
Good morning.
Sometimes getting out of bed in the morning is a lot to deal with all at once.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to the biggest and best breakfast show in Singapore. We are The Big Show, Glenn and Angel, and today our very special guest is a certified parent educator and founder of Juicy Parenting. Go to juicyparenting.com, okay? Kelly Tay is with us. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for waking up and coming in so early.
Hey, I have young kids. I'm up anyway.
How early are you up?
Usually before 7.
Wow, that's early.
Yeah, that's early for a regular day. It surely is. How old are your kids?
Turning 4, turning 6.
Okay, is that what inspired you to start Juicy Parenting, having your own children?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
So I'm a financial journalist by training. I actually turned into this line because when I became a mom, I realized that, gosh, I don't know anything about parenting. You know the theory, but doing it is very, very different.
Right.
And so I kind of put my research nerd hat on and started doing all the research I could. You know, it's just crazy to me that I had 2 degrees, I'm a Fulbright scholar, supposed to be smart, but...
What do you mean supposed to be smart? Of course you're smart.
I knew nothing about parenting.
She's book smart,
Right,
but
right,
when it
right.
comes to parenting, that's a whole other ballgame.
Isn't it easy?
Oh my goodness! Wow, let's throw some children at him. Do you remember spending half an hour with kids of a room full of children? He was about to tear his hair out. Oh my goodness!
I have no patience.
So what did you learn from having children and from that research that you're talking about?
Yeah, so I did all these courses, and very quickly what I learned was the way we're handling kids now with a very harsh, punitive approach actually doesn't stand them in good stead for later in life. Because they kind of learn like, oh, to solve my problems, I need to hit someone, I need to yell at someone, because they just model what they see from their parents. And so if we don't want kids to problem solve this way, we have to do it differently. And so what I very quickly learned was like, wow, actually even the youngest of children can understand more than we think. And they will start to model what we show. So if our first reaction with them is kind of harsh and punitive, they start to model that.
But is it a case of spare the rod and spoil the child?
Yeah, so I love talking about that quote because I think a lot of times people think about discipline as laying the smack down, right, the rod. But actually, if, I'm an English nerd, if we look at the origins of the word discipline, it actually comes from Old Latin, which is actually disciplina, closer to the meaning of like teaching you something.
Oh,
a
right,
student,
okay.
like a disciple, a student in the midst of formation.
And not hitting or scolding, nothing
Nothing
negative.
to do with that. It actually has to do with teaching. So how do you teach a student? And so if I think about discipline that way, then I'm thinking more like, okay, when I respond with my kids after they've done something they shouldn't have done, well, then the question is, what do I want to teach? What do I want the lasting lesson to be here? Surely it's not I shout at you and then you're scared, then you stop, right? It is, okay, how do I give you skills to do better next time? That's how I think about discipline.
Okay.
My
I love
parents
that.
messed me up, man. Really.
You didn't have
Come to
any
think
of that.
No, man. I mean, I used to get like hit and,
You got caned?
and
And
scolded
that was the
and asked to like
disciplining,
hurry up,
Yeah.
finish up
Yeah.
your food,
Yeah.
finish up whatever, just hurry up. It was always like that when I was a kid.
And it's because
So-
I didn't even know about, it makes sense that disciple, discipline are all from the same root word, but you relate and you connect discipline with negativity because people are always like, who is the disciplinarian in your family?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, my mom, because I'm scared of her or whatever it is, but you shouldn't
Right.
be scared. It should be a lesson
Yes.
because they teach.
Yes, something that the child can actually take and do better next time. But actually, if we're just coming in with fear and force all the time, actually all they learn, were you a very sneaky kid? Did you hide a lot of things?
I think I did.
Okay, so the thing is, the harshest parents raise the sneakiest kids. Because when a parent comes down with blame and shame, all the child learns is I need to hide my mistakes better next time. So instead of just coming clean and just having a really open relationship, it becomes I have this secretive relationship where I hide certain things.
Yes.
So that you don't find out, because when you find out, I get in trouble. Who wants to do that?
You know
And
what I
then
hid?
the lies
Yes.
start. Yeah.
I hid the canes.
Oh, right.
The
Because,
canes. I
yeah.
used to hide it. My mom used to find it, so I used to throw them away.
Um,
Yeah, and then what did she use? A hanger. Okay, anyway. A clothes hanger. Okay, let's continue to talk to Kelly on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's G-Min with Who on Kiss 92.
But that's interesting that you say that, because I like kids who fear also lie because they're trying to hide their mistakes, you know, and immediately they're like, oh no, I didn't do it, or I did it this other way, knowing that that's what the parent wants to hear.
Yes, exactly. So the child actually is disincentivized from telling the truth and incentivized to lie and cover their tracks. So actually, it's quite damaging, because ultimately a parent doesn't actually know what's going on in their kid's life. And especially, they know what's going on when things are going well. But when things are not going well, then they hide stuff. And then parents don't actually know. And that's really difficult, because as parents, we want to be there for our kids, especially in the difficult moments. And if you think about it, we are going to be the ones who guide them the best, because we truly have their best interests at heart. But what happens is kids then turn to their peers, who may not know any better, to unsavory characters online, because they're like, these people will help me. My parents will just beat the crap out of me.
And I can't go to my parents and say anything.
Exactly.
But is this a modern day parenting technique? Because a lot of people are like, oh my God, this is all like rubbish, you know, because like you can't be so soft-handed on a child. The child's not going to learn anything. You have to have a little bit of fear instilled.
Yeah, so I think it's a misconception. A lot of people think this is some newfangled thing,
Yeah.
but actually the research on this kind of parenting has been around since the 50s. It's been around for a long time. It just hasn't really made its way here, because Asian parenting is so hard. It is so much about, you know, if I don't hit you, you won't amount to anything. But actually, you know, I think that let's not confuse being an effective parent with being a harsh parent, or on the other side of things, a permissive parent. You're right. Children do need boundaries. We are the adults. We do need to come in and say, okay, this is not okay. This is okay. The question is how we do it. Do we do it in a very harsh and punitive way, or can we do it with more nurturing and showing them that, hey, I'm still the adult here. I still get to decide these important things. How I lead you there and how I guide you there is through a lot of connection and support, rather than like, you're just being bad, you need the smackdown. You know, there's a different way of doing things.
So if you don't hit the child and you just shout at the child, that's a no-no as well. Right?
I mean, I'm not a fan of shouting, because if you think about it, you know, we tell kids, stop shouting, but then we're shouting.
Or you raise your voice, let's say. Is it okay to raise your voice at your kid?
Okay, first of all, let's all give ourselves grace, right? We're humans, we're not robots. Like, we are going to lose our temper. That's okay. The thing is, how do we apologize? How do we repair afterwards? That's really important. In general, I would say let's try not to raise our voice, because we're just showing them that, hey, you're getting a rise out of me. If we can stay calm, then they can stay calm. And so it's really about, you know, give me an example. Let's say my kids, they like to draw on the walls.
On the wall. I was just going to say, they've painted on the walls.
It's
with
a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah.
So instead of coming in with the lens of, you're so bad, I've told you how many times, don't do this thing. First, we pause and we kind of see, okay, children are very exploratory. They're actually very curious. It's a little scientist in there being like, what happened?
And you don't want to stop that.
You don't want to stop that. It's not a good thing to stop it. But we also don't want to say, oh, feel free, draw on the walls, you're a scientist.
Yeah.
No, that's permissive, right? So we come in and we say, hey, I've let you know that actually the markers, they stay on paper, not on the wall. And the next time I see you drawing on the wall, I will be moving the markers away. It is
Okay.
not, I'm going to beat you.
So you're taking it away.
You're just going to move it, and it's not punitive. It's not like, one more time, then this is going to happen. It's going to be, okay, I'm going to move this up here where it's out of reach. And the next time they do it, it's very calm. It's just like, okay, I see you're drawing on the wall. I'm going to move it. I'm going to put it here. And you can try again next time. So that people think there's no consequence, but there is a consequence. The consequence is the thing got moved away. Wow. But
So it's kind of
not-
like the punishment that's moved away, and the punishment is no longer that slap or...
Yeah, I like to see it as like a related consequence.
Okay.
Where something is related to what just happened. So they're learning, when I draw,
Cause
this
and effect,
happens.
yeah.
Rather than, if you do that again, no ice cream for you. It's not related. They don't learn any skills of, this happens. You know, it's not related. It's like, no playground time for you. It's not related to the transgression of
To the drawing on the wall.
Yeah. So it's trying to make it related so that they're learning skills of,
They
when
connect
this happens.
Okay.
If I don't want that to happen, let's not draw on the wall.
I think
Okay.
many parents are stuck right now, you know.
Yeah.
They
It's
really
hard.
don't know. They're just guessing, you know.
Yes.
Of course, because there is no book. You know,
Yeah.
like people are like, I'm going to become a parent, I'm going to go watch YouTube videos. I'm like, no, but that's not going to help, because every child is
Yeah.
different. Every parent is different. You must lose your temper.
Of
I
course.
mean, you're not an angel,
Of
obviously.
course.
Like everybody loses
yes,
tempers.
everybody.
Have you ever snapped?
Of course.
And
all
what
the time.
happens? And what happens then? I mean, do you raise your voice? Do you feel like you need to hit something, because children can be
All the
you
time.
know, testing your patience all the time. So
Yeah.
what do you do?
All the time. So first of all, when that is happening, I try and like it sounds weird, but I try and narrate out loud. I'm like, I can feel myself going to lose my temper. I can feel I'm going to shout at you. I don't want to. I'm going to take a few minutes. And then I will literally just leave them to do
So you
whatever.
step back.
Yeah, or if I'm in the car, I'll just stay quiet. I'm just like, I can't talk right now because I don't trust myself to speak in a calm way. And so I won't. And I think it's good for our kids to hear that. It's good for our kids to learn. Parents have emotions. Parents get triggered. How they're dealing is how I can deal next time.
And it's good for the kid to also see that not everything is a retaliation right away.
Doesn't
'cause
have to be.
Then they also will be like, okay, I need to think about it. I need to take a step back when they face situations like that.
Yeah, otherwise you're just kind of adding fuel to more fire, right? Like it's not helpful. And it's useful for them to see, oh, this is one way of dealing with difficult emotions rather than what you see all the time, which is psh,
This is
everyone
great
else.
for couples as well.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a lot of clients who don't have kids actually.
Yeah.
Who practice this with their spouse.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, it's great. Siblings, any kind of
Any
relationship,
relationship,
you
yep.
know, because
Yep.
people are always like, oh, you say something that I don't agree with, and
Yeah.
straight away you want to argue about it. And
There
like,
you go.
it's
Should
unnecessary.
have met you early on. Maybe I'll still be married.
I love that.
Okay, we're going to go back on air and we'll talk about APW 25.
All right, sounds good.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the SLE towards the BKE, at the BKE PIE exit, look out for a broken down vehicle. If you spot anything else, WhatsApp us 8855
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We are live right now on YouTube as well as on Facebook. And our guest for this morning is Kelly Tay, certified parent educator and founder of Juicy Parenting. And next week is a very, very exciting week for you, Kelly, because it is the start of Asian Parent Week.
Indeed, yes.
Tell us a little bit more about
Why
it.
is it Asian Parent Week? Is there a difference between Asian parenting and Western parenting?
So here's the thing. I say Asian Parent Week because I focus on Asian parents.
Okay.
And a lot of times that raises eyebrows. People are like, oh, so you're saying the Western way better, is it? And I'm very clear that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that Asian parents have unique circumstances. Our cultural upbringing, who we raise kids with, we raise kids in conjunction with parents, with grandparents, with helpers, right? With the whole village. It's very, very different. You can't just cut them off because they don't agree with you. So how do you do this? How do you have a different, non-punitive way of parenting even when other people don't agree? So that's why it's Asian Parent Week.
Okay, and how do people sign up for this, and what's happening with this week?
Okay, so this is happening 19th to 23rd of May. And what it is, it's kind of like a crash course into respectful parenting. So you don't want to hit and yell at your kids, but you don't know what to do instead. So come, you get to learn kind of like the 101 on this. Every day we go through different topics. It's geared towards kids 0 to 6. So it's things like if your kid doesn't want to change the diaper or brush their teeth or get into the shower, or they're very picky at meal times and they don't want to sit still and eat. What do you do without having to resort to yelling and hitting? So in the morning, there's a less than 20-minute video that's released. People can watch in their own time. And then at night at 9 p.m., there's a live Q&A for parents.
I love the
That's so
timing.
cool.
Yeah, it's very thought out.
Yes,
for the
I'm a parent
parents.
myself. I get it. And it's all live. It's all online.
Okay.
So people can join wherever.
That's juicyparenting.com,
That's
right?
right.
We have a question from David. David says, my wife has told me to be fair and we need to support each other by both being the discipline masters in the
Right.
house, okay? But somehow she always keeps saying, see, daddy is getting angry. Right? Somehow I become the discipline master and it's no longer us. So my boy is almost 2. How can we change that?
Oh my gosh, love this question. First of all, it's important for parents to get on the same page. Because very quickly, kids realize, oh, if I ask mummy, she's going to say something else. In our household, it's like, my kids will still try because they're scientists.
Yeah, of course.
But what they hear is, you're going to hear the same thing from Dada. You're going to hear the same thing from Mama. We've already agreed beforehand, this is what we're going to do. As for the getting angry part, I would really encourage parents to stop seeing emotions as a bad thing. It's okay that daddy is getting angry. The question is, what does he do with that anger? That's where things kind of get out of hand. But if daddy's getting angry and he's taking a minute to recollect himself, if he's saying, okay, you know what, I can feel myself getting angry, I'm going to step away, that's not causing any harm. That's showing kids, okay, this is how I can regulate emotions. So I would say get on the same page to stop seeing emotions as a negative thing. It's actually okay. It's good for our kids to witness us getting angry and how we move out of that.
I think that's the hard part, right? Getting on the same page.
Getting on the same page, because everybody has different opinions about how a child should be brought up, because we're all brought up differently as well.
Yeah.
But these are conversations that you should have before you have the child as well. What are we going to do if this happens? I mean, that would be me. What are we going to do if this happens? But again, you can't predict everything that's going to happen with a kid.
Not at all.
Especially. We have Aloysius that says about your wall thing with kids not drawing on the wall. He says maybe we can dedicate a special wall for the kids to draw on to expand their creativity. Does that work?
Love that. I mean, I think if parents are comfortable with that and you have the space and you say, yeah, you know what, artistically, I don't mind one of my walls looking like this, go for it. But I think what's important to do before you do anything like that is to ask yourself, am I okay with this? Because if you're not, you're going to start getting really resentful about this wall. So as the parent, you decide what the boundaries are. You decide what's okay, what's not okay, and then you go full on. So if this parent is totally cool with that, do it. If you're not, don't do it.
Don't start it.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
parents, you guys are so lucky to have, Kelly. Seriously.
Yes,
I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm learning something. I'm not a parent.
Right.
But yeah, I'm learning a lot today.
Yeah, there is a
Seriously.
lot to learn. Like
It's not easy being a parent, man.
No.
Do you feel so much stronger now compared to when you weren't a parent?
Yeah, I definitely have changed. So I used to be like, yalla, my kid doesn't agree, I smack her. Because I was raised that way, you see. And so I think it's very natural that we only do what we saw done.
Yeah.
We only know that. It's not any parent's fault. I don't want any parent hearing this to be like, oh, I'm such a bad parent. Kelly says I'm bad. Like, no, there's no point kind of shaming and blaming. Understanding that, okay, we came from a line that did things a certain way.
Yeah.
And our parents, it's not to blame them either. They do things a certain way because their
Their
parents
parents.
did it and great-grandparents did it.
Yeah.
So now it's up to us now. We have this wonderful opportunity to do something else. It's not something that should be seen as like, oh gosh, this is so hard. It's something that can be seen as, this is an opportunity for me to do something different.
But I have a question. Did you have a good relationship with your parents? I mean, despite the fact that you
Yes.
say they hit you and whatnot.
100%.
So then my
Me too.
question would be, what is wrong with doing the same thing to your kids?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of parents will say, well, look, my parents brought me up like that. They hit me. They put me in the corner. They used the belt and whatnot. Look how I turned out.
Yes.
So why can't I do it with my children? Because they're going to turn out great as well. So I'm sure you get that a lot.
I get this a lot, especially from men. Actually, a lot of guys are like, "Well, my mom ruled with an iron fist. I was hit all the time. I'm fine. Look at me now." And so when I hear that, I'm always like, "Okay, yes, you're fine. You got a great job.
Yeah.
You have a beautiful family. You have a great education. Your resume looks amazing." But if I ask deeper and I ask harder questions, like, how do you deal with difficult feelings like rage, jealousy, disappointment?
You're absolutely right.
Do you apologize? Can you own your mistakes, or do you get very defensive? If
Defensive.
those things, if your answers to those are actually not quite, then maybe you're not as fine as you think. And maybe for our kids, we should shoot for more than fine.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
should look at them being awesome, emotionally well-adjusted
and
people.
able to really come to you with anything at all and not have to go externally to get that advice.
Well, that's the other thing, right? Sometimes people will be like, but I'm fine. I'm like, well, is your relationship with your parents fine? Maybe on the surface, you guys are great and you go out for Mother's Day lunch and
Yeah.
everything's fine. But on a deeper level, do you truly connect with them? Can you go to them with your deepest troubles?
yeah.
I've always
Probably
known
not.
I'm a little bit messed up inside.
Yeah.
I know
all
that.
are,
I know.
though.
I wish I was more sensitive.
Right.
Mm.
That's the thing, right? I think a lot of times women as well, but like it's hard with emotions. You feel like I have to push it all down because that's what we learn as kids. Like, stop crying now.
No
huh?
crying for
Right.
boys. Boys don't cry.
But
yeah.
and so the kids learn how to suppress it, which is not helpful. I think it's more helpful to teach kids how to move through difficult feelings and realize, you know what, your feelings will always end. You come out on the other side.
Right. Let's continue to talk to Kelly on the Big Show TV. It is 8:24.
Kiss 92 Time Check by Poo Tian.
Joshua Tay says, so glad we have this topic this morning. I have 3 kids and boy, oh boy, is it tough. Ivan, back to your wall story, painting on the walls. This seems to be a popular one. What happens if the kids if the kid starts drawing on the wall again after you've taken the markers away and given them back?
Yeah,
So second time round.
Yeah, so first of all, when you move the markers away, it's important that they stay away and you tell your kid, okay, they're going to be away for XYZ time. It's not like move away 3 minutes later, okay, here you can have it back. No, it's probably move them away, kid will transition to something else, have a little bit of a break, and then when they come back to it, it's a very clear, okay, I'm bringing the markers back now. Markers stay on the paper. When I see it on the wall, I will move them away again.
Okay.
And so it has to be, a lot of times people think, I tell kids once they should get it. I already told you, why are you not doing it? Like, why are you not complying? But realizing that actually kids learn by testing over and over again. They are scientists. They're really like, okay, if I do this again, does the same outcome happen? And they're watching. And a lot of times parents think, no point doing this. I already took it away and they're still doing this. Actually, it is your job to keep going back and reinforcing that. And if you do that consistently, you'll be surprised. It doesn't take that many reinforcements. Kids actually do learn pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It's just that if we kind of slack off on the boundaries, then they're like, what you said is not actually true.
And then they know how
Let's
to push
try
your
again.
buttons as well.
Yeah.
They know how to manipulate very early on.
It's it's not even about manipulation. They're just so smart.
Yeah.
They're kind of looking, like you said, cause and effect.
That's why I
did this
noticed you
course.
call them scientists.
Yeah,
They're really
I love
scientists.
that. I
They
love that.
are. I think
Yeah.
if we can change our mindset, they're not these little terrible people who are trying to make our life hell, but actually think about it from the point of view of they're actually amazing.
They are, and they're so curious. And people, you always see it on TV as well. They're like, why? Children constantly saying why, right? And a lot of parents just getting angry
They'll
or getting
stop it.
impatient
Yeah.
and saying,
Because
"Stop it!"
I
right?
told you so.
Exactly, and like, why is the sky blue? Why is water wet? And stuff like that.
And when you say no and stop it, it just stops the whole thinking
And
process.
it demoralizes
altogether.
the fact that they don't want to ask again because they're
Yeah.
going to be told to shut up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's really harmful. And,
Yeah.
especially at the dinner table, a lot of parents will find it easier to prop up a device and
oh
be
my
like,
God.
just watch this thing because then you'll stay quiet and you'll just get spoon fed. But actually, we're depriving kids of the ability to learn to how, sit at a meal and have
A conversation, yeah.
And when we agree to those conversations, we have to accept it's going to be a lot of whys. It's going to be a lot of these questions.
This is like my biggest pet peeve when it comes to children these days because of the devices.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I see them on the train. I see them at mealtime. I see them like this, so close.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you see the parent take or the helper take the device away and they start screaming.
It's a meltdown.
It's a total meltdown.
So once again, it's because they don't know what to do.
Exactly, because
Right.
they've been given that since they're babies. It becomes like their babysitter.
Yeah.
Parents get busy. Just give the phone. The kid will be entertained for 15 minutes. I can be on the phone. I can go have a shower. I can do whatever, right?
All you parents watching right now, regardless, I mean, you might think you're a good parent or maybe not so good or whatever. Log on to juicyparenting.com because that's where they can sign up.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier if you
Oh.
go to my Instagram page at
Yeah.
juicy.parenting. The
Juicy
link in
dot
bio,
parenting.
it's right there.
There you
Okay.
go. And your Instagram page is right there on the screen.
Juicy.parenting. Follow Kelly right now and then sign up for it. It's next week.
Next week, 19th. Interesting question from Janice. Is it too late to instill or change if the child is already 14?
No.
Okay.
Never too late. It is honestly never too late. If you think about us as adults, if our parents came and repaired a relationship, that would make all the difference with us.
Yeah.
It's the same for kids, even if you're 14. What I will say, Janice, is that it's going to take a little bit of time because if you think about it, 14, that's a decade and a half of pathways kind of being set in this way. So your child has come to know you as the disciplinarian, has come to know the relationship as one where I have to hide a little. It's going to take a while to change that dynamic. And it is okay that it takes time. It's not just you, it's everybody. And, press through, hang in there because it is worth it on the other side. If you think about it, 14, you're at the cusp of that difficult, they're going to start becoming...
Already.
Already.
Some kids
Yes.
start young, right?
Yes, and if we can shift this in the next year, let's say it takes a year, right? If you can shift this by the time they turn 15, hey, 16, 17, 18, 19 is going to be a lot easier.
That's true.
Than if you continue this path.
That's true.
It's never too late.
Rachel wants to know, and then we can address this when we go back on air.
Yeah.
I have a challenge getting my kid to keep her room neat or their room neat. Any tips?
Kelly's going easy. That's easy. Okay, we're going back on air.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the BKE towards the PIE, an accident before the Dairy Farm Road exit, avoid lane 4. Also on the PIE towards Tuas, this time after Thompson Road's exit, avoid lane 1, a vehicle's broken down. And finally on the TPE towards the PIE, just before the Pasir Ris Drive 12 exit, a vehicle having trouble there. Wherever you are this Friday morning, stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is Kelly Tay, certified parent educator and founder of Juicy Parenting. You can follow her at juicy.parenting on Instagram. You can also, log on to juicyparenting.com as well. It's been wonderful speaking to you this morning, Kelly.
Thank you. I'm enjoying it.
Okay, fantastic.
We should come back more often.
Yeah, sure.
How about we reserve a slot for you every week?
I think that would be wonderful because we have so many questions and obviously we can't get to all of them. Rachel Wah has said, I have a challenge getting my child to keep their room neat and tidy. Do you have any tips for that?
Yeah, so number one, don't do it for them. A lot of times parents get so fed up with the mess that they'll just come in and rage clean and do everything. Don't do it for them, do it with them. And so realize that, it is going to be difficult for them to do everything by themselves, especially if they feel like it's a punishment, because they're going to feel at war with you. They're going to feel like I'm trying to do this and you're trying to do this and we're clashing. So do it with them. And you're going to say, okay, I'm going to take charge of this part of the room and you're going to take charge of this part of the room and we're going to do it together. And so kind of being on the same team as your kid is a very different vibe from your kid's perspective than I've just been yelled at again to do this thing that I don't want to do and no one is helping me. It's a very, very different kind of feeling. If you want to get peaceful cooperation, we have to do our part too, to kind of show that, hey, I'm on your side too. Let's do this together.
What about the reward system when it comes to, okay, go tidy your room and you get $20?
I'm
Is that
not
a
a
good
fan.
way? Okay. No, because people do that. Go wash the dishes, clean the floor, whatever it is.
I am really not a fan.
Okay, why?
Number one, I think that teaching a kid to live in a household responsibly means that you don't get rewarded for doing things that you should be doing.
Anyway.
Glenn's like, "Ugh."
Yeah, okay.
As a normal human being and a well-functioning adult, you don't get prizes for putting the dishes away and for keeping your room clean. Do not do that. The second reason I don't like it is I think we create a sense of entitlement. Where it's like, I've done this thing that you told me
I
to do.
need money now.
Yeah.
And now you should reward me. And parents do this for grades. You get an iPad if you get all A's.
Oh my gosh,
The
yeah.
thing is, we're creating the sense of entitlement. It's well-meaning. But we're raising really entitled kids where they believe, oh, if I do this thing, I get this thing. And if I'm not getting that thing, I'm not doing this thing. No, learning's a privilege. Learn it because you enjoy it and because you love it and because you understand this is part of your trajectory, not because your parents like dangling this thing. We
Right.
really get very entitled people who then go into the workforce and like, okay, I did everything you wanted me to do. Now what's my reward?
It explains a lot of the current generation.
I hear, I was about to say that.
Now I get it. Now
because
I get
we
it.
hear a lot of people talking about the new generation.
Entitlement and all that.
yeah.
Yeah, now I get it because a lot of people attach gifts or money to things that you do, anything at all, especially school.
Yeah. And no, to be a well-functioning adult, to take care of your home, you do not get a prize. And
It's a skill you need to know
it's a skill
anyway.
you need to learn, yeah. And it's with my kids, they're really young, but I tell them this is how we take care of our home.
Yeah.
And not to say it's not triggering. I get very triggered by the mess. But at the same time, it's kind of having the long-term view and saying, okay, I'm raising you to be a well-adjured adult.
Yeah.
How do we do this?
It's
Rather
the big
than just
picture.
shouting at you.
Yeah. It's tough.
I wish I had a mom like you.
Oh, Glenn, baby Glenn.
Your mom is amazing.
No, she is amazing.
Take it
She's
back.
amazing. But it was a fluke how I
Is it?
found out, actually.
No, well,
I could be in jail
Who
right
said
now.
you're okay though?
There you go.
I want to be clear, right? Like, we're not here to blame and shame our parents.
Yeah.
Our parents really did the best they could
With what they
with
had.
the knowledge
Yeah.
that they had.
Yeah.
And actually, a lot of my clients are very cute. They will show their parents a picture of me and be like, I've hired this person and she's teaching me how to do things differently. And they're very sweet stories of really elderly parents saying, I'm glad you're doing that because in my time, I didn't have someone like that.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important to remember, our parents are fallible too. They did the best and they were raised in a certain way too. And so they actually changed a lot of things.
They did.
From their generation,
Yeah.
just like how we are changing things for our generation. And so it's important to kind of realize, hey, our parents are also flawed human beings. We should not put them on this pedestal. And also realize, hey, we get a chance now to do even better. And isn't that what they want for us at the end of the day? They want us to do better.
I was in my room quite a bit while she was playing mahjong.
Angsting.
in the afternoon. Okay, anyway, before we let you go, you've got a book out. The world may say this, but I believe that.
Yes. It's a
Tell us a
children's
little
picture
bit more.
book.
Okay.
So it's a little picture book, and the whole premise is that, yes, the world may say all these things like, you know, if you stop crying, you're a bad child. If you don't behave, no one will love you anymore. And I'm trying to kind of give parents the vocabulary to reframe that and to say, okay, the world may say these things. We can't control what the world says. But as parents, how do we reframe that for you and tell you that, okay, even if you're crying, that's okay. All humans have emotions, and you know, the feelings will pass. It's okay to feel sad. It will pass. Or telling them, you know, if like, oh, you know, if you don't behave, no one will love you anymore. And the rewrite of that is nothing you can do or say will make me love you less. It's true unconditional love.
Yeah.
Truly unconditional.
Yeah.
And so it's a children's picture book. The idea is that as you are reading with your kids, having this lovely bonding moment, you are also educating yourself as a parent. What can I say instead? And there's a 4-page parent guide at the back that goes deeper into each of these messages. So if people hear something like, oh, why is it not okay to say don't be shy? Well, read the parent guide at the back and then learn. There's more context there.
You would have to pick up the book to find out why not to say it. Don't be shy.
How cool. You're amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
love you. Thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
Kelly.
Thank you so much. We've been speaking to Kelly Tay, certified parent educator and founder of Juicy Parenting. Once again, follow her please at juicy.parenting. Better still, sign up for Asian Parent Week happening in just 2 days. Thank you so much, Kelly.
Thank you for having me.
We are back with our second guest.
Good morning, Dahlia.
Dahlia from Burrito. Hurry on!
Morning, everybody.
What have you been eating all week?
Burgers, in fact, this week.
Burgers?
Burgers. Ooh, where from?
From Burks and Smashed, as well as Ashes Burnett.
Ashes Burnett is the one in New York, correct?
Yes,
Yes,
but
at Urban Hawker.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, because I was in Ang Mo Kio, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
That's where they are. I was at the polyclinic and I walked past the coffee shop. I'm like, that looks familiar. And then I
Are
walked
they really
past it. Yeah.
in Ang Mo Kio?
Yes,
Yes,
they are
the-
mainly at like most heartland areas, in fact.
Oh, they have a few.
Yeah, I think
had no
close
idea.
to 9 outlets so far.
9.
Yes, so you can get gourmet burgers, near your neighborhood area.
And kind of like coffee shop prices,
coffee shop
right?
prices,
Wow,
yes.
amazing.
How you maintain your figure after eating so much?
Actually,
huh?
I just have a few bites.
That's the secret.
If it's really good, then I finish everything.
It's never about finishing the whole thing, right?
That's all you're still looking.
Okay, so
But then you're very young. That's why you can eat anything.
burns off very quickly. Okay,
going
so
on.
yeah, let's go there.
Oh no. 50 seconds.
Okay, so tell us the names again of Smashed, you said?
Smashed, and we have Burks. So I think Burks is quite
I've
popular.
heard of
So
Burks,
it's Project Burks. So now I think they rebranded and just opened one outlet. So I think they have an outlet at 313 Somerset as well, and
Oh.
at Vivo. So it's a very iconic yellow color.
Okay.
So they just rebranded and opened at Kandahar Street. It's gonna open on Monday, next Monday. So now they rebranded to red color, looking two-story cafe or restaurant. It's really quite delicious.
Shop house, is it?
Yes, shop house. Yeah.
So they've rebranded from yellow to red.
Yes, yellow.
Oh,
to red,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay. Now we're going back on air.
Stand by.
Kiss 92 traffic.
All right, taking a look at the situation on the roads. On the PIE towards Tuas at the Thompson Road exit, look out for a broken down vehicle. Also on the BKE towards the PIE, an accident before Dairy Farm Road's exit, avoid lane 4. If you spot anything else this Friday morning, 8855
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our second guest for today is from Burrito Harian, our favorite journalist, Dahlia. Good morning.
Morning.
Good
Happy
morning,
Friday.
Dahlia. Happy Friday. So, Dahlia, you have a topic that's very close to everyone's hearts.
Yes.
Burgers.
Today actually is Teh Tarik.
Teh
Oh,
Tarik,
Teh Tarik.
huh?
Yeah, I thought burgers.
Because we were talking about some burgers.
Yeah,
off
yeah.
air, that's
Yes.
why.
Oh,
Okay, burger will be next week.
okay, burgers
Okay,
next week.
yes.
Okay,
Teh
fine.
Tarik. I'm having
Let's talk
some
about tea.
some Teh Tarik right now.
Ooh, yes.
Okay, what makes a good Teh Tarik, would you say?
Ooh, something that's very creamy, fragrant, sweet, nicely balanced.
Is it the tarik as well?
Yes, the foam.
the foam, right?
yeah.
So good tea is not necessary.
good quality matters.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
the
So when it comes to foam, the more foam, the better? Or
To me, the more foam, the
more
better.
foam, the better.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay. So tell us about your tea.
Okay, so I have 4 recommendations for Teh Tarik. So we all know that Teh Tarik is well loved by different generations, and it's something that we eat. Something that we drink in the morning, any time of the day, and even during supper as well. So I have 4 recommendations, which is Tarik by Ali Reza, by Sarbat, Zamas River Valley, and Akbar 24 Hours Restaurant. So some of them, they actually offer Teh Tarik Pandan and also a Teh Tarik drive-through concept, which I think
Oh.
you've never heard before. It's
No.
actually one of the few, or maybe the only one in Singapore.
Do
in
they
fact.
actually have a counter where you pull up
Yes.
to and really?
Yeah.
Like a McDonald's kind of counter? You're
Yes,
like,
it's actually a hole in the wall concept.
okay. Which one is this?
This is Akbar 24 Hours Restaurant.
Oh, look
To
at
Lim
that.
Tek Kim Road.
Yes.
Wow, look at that. There's a picture there.
Yes.
Oh, it's literally just a window
Yes.
from their shop.
From their shop.
Oh, wow.
And that's Mr. Akbar, maybe?
Or Mr. Akbar's employers.
Just
Good guess, good guess. Yes.
Okay, but how is the Teh Tarik now?
The Teh Tarik, okay, it's just like your plain old classic Teh Tarik. So the best thing about it to me is actually more for the first mamak drive-through concept, and you can actually give them a call and like, hey, I want to order nasi biryani or mee goreng. So can you like actually make them in advance, and then you can come and collect as well.
So it's drive-through not just for the tea, it's for the food
For
and
the food
everything
as well,
else,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
So we do see a lot of vehicles coming, through the day. We have, our cab drivers, uniform personnel, and even CBD workers as well on the go. So I think the location at Tanjong Pagar is very strategic. And what I like about the Teh Tarik, like I said, it's creamy, slightly sweet, and there's no bitterness as well. And the quality of the tea, I think it's okay for the price as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Any food recommendations from there? Like, do they have any specialties?
But,
Is it biryani?
before that, I just want to ask Dahlia about the Teh Tarik as well, right? Like, does Teh Tarik need to be sweet? Because every time I go to one of these coffee shops, and I order a Teh Tarik, right? I always feel like it's always sweet. That's the most consistent thing. It's always sweet. It's almost like I can't ask them to make it less sweet.
I think there's no such thing as less sweet.
Oh, really? There's no such thing?
Because you know why? I think the sweetness level brings up the creaminess of the Teh Tarik.
Yeah.
So you can ask them like kurang manis is still
Or
not
like
kurang manis.
Teh Tarik Siutai.
There's
Correct? No such thing? No?
Yeah, which is why I've stopped like having too much Teh Tarik. Before I used to love Teh Tarik, right? But man, it's so sweet.
It is very sweet. It's condensed milk,
Yes.
right? Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes I think it's condensed milk and evaporated milk. So.
Like the coffee.
Okay, sorry, your question.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, is there a signature dish at this Akbar 24 Hours restaurant that goes well with the Teh Tarik
Yes,
as well?
mainly the nasi biryani and mee goreng.
Okay.
Yes.
All right,
Okay,
fantastic.
All right, let's continue to talk to Dahlia on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's a new one from Maroon 5 and Lisa. This is Priceless.
This is brand new.
So I'm looking at this list that you have. What's the next one on your list?
Okay, the next one for me is Tarik by Ali Reda. Okay, I think Tarik has been really popular lately. It's located right outside Masjid Sultan. So actually they have a small shop previously in 2021, and then they shifted to a strategic location right in front of the mosque. And the owner is actually, his name is Ali Reda, and he used to be a former cabin crew. So you can imagine that he flies a lot.
I think I've seen him before.
Yes,
I only fly Singapore Airlines. I remember his face.
I was going to say, just by the name itself, Tarik, it sounds very hipster.
Yeah.
It sounds very almost like Gen Y, Gen Z started,
Yes,
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Tarik.
Yes.
Tarik,
yeah.
just pull.
Very, yeah, correct. Pull. Yes. So
Okay.
what I like about his concept is actually the quality of the tea and also the saffron that they use. Okay, so I'm just going to share more about it. So as he, he flew around and traveled, he really tried different kinds of Teh Tarik. You have your Teh Karak, you have your saffron tea, your different kind of teas. So he imported he imported saffron from Iran, which costs $7 per gram.
Yeah,
which
it's very expensive.
Very expensive,
Yeah.
yes. But the unique selling point about his tea is that he sells Teh Tarik, not your basic Teh Tarik, your Teh Zafran, which is saffron tea. And then we have Teh Zafia, which is Teh Halia, and Teh Karak. So Teh Karak is a more who packs a punch in terms of the flavor, in terms of the herbs and spices as well.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. I
very
like
cool.
Teh Halia.
I like Teh Halia.
I like Teh Halia.
That's
Less
ginger,
sweet.
right?
Yes, correct. Yes,
That's
that's ginger. Correct,
yeah.
ginger.
Okay. Nice. Very sort of new flavored teas,
Yes.
modern day teas. Very nice what he's
So
doing.
Tarik is at Arab Street, right?
Yes.
92 Arab Street.
And I saw he had some food with it. What was that?
Okay, so that's actually called roti kawin. But it's
Okay.
actually just kaya, butter and toast.
Oh, okay.
It's just
Roti
a diff-
Kawin means
Married.
married.
Yeah, I think because the
because it's
kaya and the butter, it's like a perfect marriage in terms
Touching,
of flavor.
touching. Sometimes when we touch,
So cute though.
the honesty is too much.
And it goes perfectly with tea, right?
Yes, yeah, but they do have like your curry puff, your curry puff, your sausage sardine roll. So I was there 2 weeks ago after I was just around the area, and it was so happened was after Friday prayers, the queue was really really long.
Oh, really?
Everybody is like. The moment they come to the mosque, everybody
They see
starts
it there.
queuing and like, okay, either the hot or the cold one. And, you can see the young ones, even the older ones, the pakcik. It's just really nice to see the different generations actually coming together to enjoy this well beloved drink.
I haven't been Arab Street in a while. Man.
in a while. But
Should
they
go
say
there.
it's all about location,
Yeah.
right? Right outside the mosque, after everyone prays and all that and comes out.
Yeah.
It's a good spot for him. No, I haven't been to Arab Street for a long while as well.
Yeah.
There's really a lot of like good food and really like new F&B places coming up
Yeah.
within the area.
Maybe that's why, for all you young people, okay, I'm already at this age. If I go and makan, that's it. I have to maintain,
One time is
Yeah.
fine.
Once in a while.
This morning, she already called me the Asian Tom Cruise already.
Oh.
I did not. I did not. He
So just
called
now I was
himself
looking at
that. He called himself that. Okay, so we have another one by Sarbat, Basora Street, which is
Yes.
just down the road,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, but so by Sarbat, it's very iconic with the owner Asgar. So they have been around since 1950s. Really, I would say one of the OG players.
1950s.
Apparently, yeah, like during his dad's time when he took over the recipe as well. So now it's like third generation. His son took over at the age of 16. He was being trained by his dad on on the craft of pulling the Teh Tarik. But I think to me, making Teh Tarik really falls on the person who makes it.
Yeah,
you can
of
have the
course.
recipe, but
Yeah.
sometimes on some days it's good, sometimes it isn't. So, there's that ratio as well.
You've got to have that skill.
The skill, yeah. So apparently his menu has 140 drink options at Bai Sarbat.
Wow.
And
What does
they-
Sarbat mean? Because I always hear it, people always like, let's go to the Sarbat stall. I'm like, what is the
I think
meaning?
it's just the name of the
Oh,
shop, but I don't
really?
really exactly know what is the meaning of Sarbat.
Okay,
But
okay.
they started with 12 items back then, but now they have 140 drink options. And we know
That
actually
is
the...
crazy.
Yes,
That's a lot.
really a lot. Too many
Milo
options.
dinosaur.
It's quite confusing at times, I would say. Yeah, so they are located at Busora Street. So from Friday to Sunday, there is road closure. So we can actually see that there are seats actually outside at the roadside, close to the Kampung Glam Cafe as well. So we can see a lot of people hanging out there late
Oh,
at night
nice.
and buying I don't know how many cups of Teh Tarik. Yeah.
That's not. Somebody has a question, but it's not about Teh Tarik. But they feel like you might know this. Good murtabak. Where can you find it these days?
Good martabak. Oh, okay.
But he's saying don't say Victory or Zamzam.
I used to get from Zamzam, no?
Yeah.
Years ago.
Winston is asking.
Oh, Winston. Okay. Oh, okay. Zam, I would say, okay, they're quite iconic between those two. Zam have a thick layer of skin that perhaps I don't really fancy. I like
Okay.
more filling.
More filling.
More
than-
filling and a slightly thin layer of skin. But actually, the one that's a hidden gem is actually right next to Victory, which is Tasnim, which I think nobody really... really
Talks about.
It's always the first two stores. So Tasnim has really good mutaba as well.
How do you
Okay.
spell
Yeah.
that? Tasnim?
Tasneem.
And okay, there you
Tasneem.
go, Winston. Tasneem.
Tasnim. Go and try it and then let us know.
Yes.
Okay, better still, buy one from Victory, one from Tasnim,
Yes.
one from Zamzam, and after that,
You can do a blind taste test actually.
Yeah.
See which one you prefer.
And that is 709 Northbridge Road.
yeah,
I
just
also
right
can't
next to
remember.
Victory.
Zamzam also has nasi biryani, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think my family members used to buy
Zamzam is
every weekend
famous.
from Zamzam.
Ooh, but
Yeah.
the nice nasi biryani is actually Islamic biryani.
Islamic,
Ooh,
Islamic
it's
restaurant.
Pricey, good quality.
Yeah.
But it's really worth the money. Yeah.
Okay.
Islamic restaurant.
Islamic,
yes,
yes.
I've been
Yes.
there as well. Okay.
Okay, where
Yes.
else do we have?
Ooh, okay, this is my favorite. Zama's River Valley.
River Valley. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, let's do this on air.
Okay.
Yeah.
This will be the last talk set. Is it? Okay. Tiesto, right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. It's Glenn and Angel, and today we have from Barita Haryana, our favorite journalist, Dahlia. Good morning, Dahlia.
Morning.
Good morning, Dahlia.
So we've been talking Teh Tarik.
Yes,
Yes.
quite a few places that you've mentioned. You've mentioned Tarik, which is 92 Arab Street. You've mentioned Bai Sarbat, 21 Basora Street, and Akbar 24-hour restaurant at 2 Tek Lim Tek Kim Road, not Tek Lim Road, Lim Tek Kim Road. Finally, we have your favorite, which is
Yes, Zama's River Valley.
Okay.
I am willing to travel to River Valley just for the Teh Tarik, and I've had okay, they are known for their Teh Tarik pandan. It's so fragrant, so nice. It's really so good, so creamy.
Never heard of
So it's just
You're missing out.
Are they
Pandan.
putting flavoring or are they just
No.
using the pandan
Okay,
leaf?
there's actually the pandan flavor in the Teh Tarik as
Oh,
well,
there is.
and they will also put the pandan leaf. So
Okay.
sometimes when you drink it gets in the way because it like touches
Your
my
nose.
and I have to hold it, or like I just put it on the table. Yes, but I'd say it has a very good aromatic blend of pandan, and actually there's 16 secret ingredients inside the Teh Tarik, which I don't know why we need that many ingredients for a simple
But
drink.
you would travel from
Yes.
anywhere
Yes.
for that. It's
No,
the
only to
16.
River Valley, she said. She will travel to River
No,
Valley.
from anywhere to that. I
If it
said.
had to be in... Yeah, okay.
yeah, from anywhere to that, and that's what the 16 secret ingredients
Yes,
are
fine.
for.
It's worth it. Yes, but it's really so good and it's so rich, and it's quite sweet, I would
Okay.
say.
Okay.
Very fragrant sweet. I would say the lemakness, which I would say is the richness flavor of it. And they use at least 5 kg of pandan leaves daily. And they sell
Wow.
400 cups of Teh Tarik pandan a day.
Just the Teh
Wow.
Tarik pandan.
Yeah. So when I'm there, I'll start with the hot one first, because the hot one will be, slightly more richer in flavor, and then I'll move on to the ice, Teh Tarik
Oh.
pandan. So if you love Earl Grey milk tea, we have a local version, which I would say is Teh Tarik pandan. In terms of the fragrance, the aroma, the sweetness, it's really so delicious. Yeah.
You're hitting there later, aren't you? It's like I'm dying for it already.
How much is one cup?
It'll start from $2.50 or $2
Oh, that's all right. Yeah.
to like 3+. Actually, people do complain that it's actually on the higher side of it. But I would say you are paying for quality, and also you're in the area of River Valley as well.
Rental and
Yeah,
everything,
rental, and including their mamak food also, it's quite on the higher price, but you do get good quality food. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
nice.
Yes.
Nice list, Zalia.
Yeah.
Zalia.
Zalia, because
Zalia.
of-
Because of
Zamas.
Zamas. Yes. Zamas and Zalia.
Well, thank you very much, Dahlia. Did we leave anything out?
No.
Have we covered
Yes,
everything?
we cover all 4 must try, I would say, Teh Tarik places.
So once again,
Next week
Tarik at
burgers.
Yes, next week
92,
burgers, yes.
92 Arab Street. They open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. There's Bai Sabat, 21 Busora Street, 6:30 a.m. To 1 a.m. Zamas River Valley at 429, I beg your pardon, River Valley Road. They're open 24 hours a day. And Akbar is also open 24 hours every day at 2 Lim Tek Kim Road. And there's a drive-through as well.
That's cool, yeah.
Thank you so much. If you're a fan of Teh Tarik, go and check these places out. Thank you so much, Dahlia.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dahlia.
We've been speaking to Dahlia from Berita Harian.
The big